Once a soul is saved, that soul is saved for good. However, we do not act upon from God's perspective in our practical life. For example, when you go out on the street and try to evangelize, you approach a person, but you do not come up with the mindset that whether that person is predestined to salvation or not. When you do evangelism, you don't ask whether that person is chosen by God in eternity or not. That's not the question that we come up with when we go to evangelism. We don't know that. And even the Bible, the way Bible tells us is, we just go out and preach to the whole world without asking, without, trying to find out whether that person is predestined to salvation or not. See, oftentimes, we come up with the wrong approach and wrong question. We just go to anybody that we meet on the street, and if the person was chosen by God, and for his or her salvation, I was also chosen to witness to that person, God's grace will work. It's up to God. It's God's work. And within the God's work, I am also included as a means of witnessing. Same way, we do not ask whether when a person commits suicide, can that person go to heaven? Well, that is up to the Lord. As the confession says, there are times a true Christian can fall deeply in sin. And perhaps that state could last a while. True Christian, time to time, can lose his or her own assurance of faith. That's possible. The confession of knowledge is that. Because our salvation does not depend on our own thought or feeling, conviction. It's truly, deeply rooted and anchored in God's own decision, God's sovereign decision. However, meantime, Christians fight the battle. Fight the battle. For example, we often watch sports. I love watching sports. I used to love watching football when I was in the States, but I don't get to see that, watch that anymore. So I've kind of lost the touch with that, but now it is baseball season. Even though I'm not really too excited about that. Anyway, we watch sports because we don't know the result. I guess that's part of the fun, the part of the game. That you don't know who's going to win. That is why you watch it and you root for one team. And if your team does not win, then you get sometimes really mad. I don't know, mad at what? Just upset because your team lose. That's how it is. But let's say you already know the answer. This is live, but you know already that which team is going to win. And I don't know. It's not watching it is not going to be fun anymore. In our life, in human life, we don't often experience perseverance. And that's out of concern in many cases. Another example is marriage. A lot of times have concern when it comes to marriage because they don't know whether this marriage will go to the end. Especially before the marriage, particularly when they date and when they think about the possibility of getting married, they're not so sure whether this would be a good idea, whether this would be really the choice that you should make. Sometimes you don't know whether this marriage will last. That is the reality for us. But let's say you have a different attitude, different perspective. Let's say, oh, I'm sure this will work. This will last to the end. I am definitely sure that our marriage will go in success. That will give you a totally different perspective. Whatever you do, business, study, marriage, your health, whatever, you have the sense of perseverance, then it will be a totally different situation. I chose this passage for today about Peter's betrayal of Jesus. Peter, as you know, is the man among the 12 disciples, the first among the 12. But surprisingly, he disowned Jesus when people questioned him. Jesus was put on a trial at the court of the high priest, and he is following him, maintaining a certain distance, like a bystander. He just try to watch him, try to see what's going on with Jesus. He ended up disowning him 3 times. Isn't it embarrassing? How shameful is that? But that was not the end of everything for Peter. If you turn to John 21, 15 through 18, I'm not going to read it now, but you know the story. Jesus asked Peter, "Do you love me?" It's kind of, when someone asks you like that, very strange, and you get frightened. Particularly Peter, he remembers what he did. He disowned him 3 times, betrayed him 3 times. Jesus asked him, "Do you love me?" "Lord, you know that I love you. Feed my sheep." "Do you love me?" "Yes, I love you. Take care of my sheep." "Do you love me?" "Lord, you know that I love you. Feed my sheep." 3 times. Jesus confirmed with him. It is like putting Peter back on the track again. It's like reinstating Peter back to his place where he should be. And along with it, Jesus said, from now on, we'll go through difficult times that you may not particularly want. With that, Jesus was kind of saying that you will be persecuted and you will be martyred because of my name. See, at the end, even though Peter betrayed Jesus 3 times,